Happy New Year to you! Where have you been? No, where have I been? We haven't been with you in a while. We were kind of decompressing, transitioning into the new year, spending time with family, getting after all these patients that have been coming in here and we've had the pleasure of working with, going down different avenues. But we want to do something different going forward. We know you just hit that new year, new you time. If you're riding high on a resolution, a change, this year's going to be different. That motivation, that mentality, if you're still going strong with it, good on you, keep riding. Sometimes around this time of year, the gyms start to thin out. The grocery list starts to change back. You start to gravitate back towards what you did. We want to now try to start to implement some of those big picture, sustainable, long-term, logical changes. And that's what we'd like to do with you this year. Other than profiling some of the things that have been going on in here, as far as individual patients, making you aware of things, of hope, of options available to you, other than what's going on out in the world, because we'll continue to touch on those things. What we're going to do, 2021, we're going to try to hit you with 21 different things this year. 21 different things, slowly implemented, explained, but beyond that, giving you, potentially, if it makes sense to you, actionable items that you can move forward with and start to do this. You need to go deeper on it, work with someone like me, if I don't mind saying so myself, or somebody else that you trust, somebody else that you click with and connect with. Work with somebody else if it gets deeper and you need more. But these are more or less some DIY things that we can do. 2021, let's kick it off with number one. Number one on there, we've touched on so many times in the past. If you listen to these, you might know where I'm going with this. We're going back to gut health. You're sick of hearing about it? It doesn't make it go away. It's not a fad. There's a reason that we bring it up so often. There's a reason that with so many patients that come in, whether it's a presumable primary hormonal issue, a infection issue, whether that's Lyme's disease, SIBO, things like that, whether it's heavy metal toxicity, mold toxicities, things like that, neurodegenerative diseases, things like that. We're always explaining and articulating to the patient why it can be so powerful to start right here within the gut. There's a reason they call it the foundation. There's a reason it's called the seat of the immune system. It's well acknowledged now, the gut-brain connection, the gut-skin connection, the gut-immune system connection, gut pretty much connection to every organ in your body, so we want to use that to our advantage. We're going to go into ways that you can start to do this, but let's just talk about it. Why would we want to start here? Why would we want to start in the gut? One main reason for this would just be for digestive efficiency alone. Absorption and assimilation of our nutrients. Now think with me here. You could potentially look at any sign, symptom, something that you're experiencing in the body, and either hypothesize that it is outright caused by a nutritional deficiency, or at the very least contributed by nutritional deficiencies or shortcomings, suboptimal levels of different nutrients in the body. That could be virtually anything and everything going on. You can run advanced tests like a SpectraCell or a NutrEval that are great, and they give you tons of information about this micronutrient, vitamin, mineral, your macronutrient status, your proteins, your carbs, your healthy fats. That's all good. But rather than run a test on that, look at all of them and then try to micromanage each one, filling up your medicine cabinet with supplements or prescriptions, why not look at where the main part of your body that is involved in assimilation, absorption, utilization of those nutrients, so you can perform on a more optimal level across the board systemically. That comes down to the microbiome. A lot of the times, your friendly bacteria, they say, and the other microbes living down there, assimilating, converting, and activating certain nutrients. That comes down to your machinery working so you can at least secrete the enzymes to digest and use those nutrients. So think about it. Rather than run that test up front and taking 22 different supplements depending on your shortcomings, what we want to do is repair, improve, and maximize your ability to absorb and assimilate all those micronutrients, those macronutrients, the supplements that you might subsequently take. A lot of times people don't even think about that. If I'm taking all these supplements, well-intended and maybe for a good idea, they have to go, majority of them have to go right through the GI tract, the digestive tract. So if you're not absorbing and assimilating them, you're basically wasting your money on those. Talk about prescriptions as well. Thyroid medication for the most part. If you're not absorbing that and assimilating that, it's not going to work as effectively. We've actually had it where patients will come in and they've been on thyroid medication for a while for one or more reasons, and we'll work on the GI tract, we'll work on repairing, restoring, healing, sealing that gut like we've talked about before. And all of a sudden they start to gravitate into a almost hyperthyroid-ish state. And they're scratching their heads and they're calling their endocrinologist. But there's a reason for that too. If we boost the ability to absorb, assimilate, utilize the nutrients, including prescriptions, all of a sudden you might not need that high dose. Ideally, maybe you don't need it at all as we fix everything with the far-reaching ramifications of good gut health. But that's a prime example of making some changes and it working in our favor. Even though maybe some temporary discomfort was experienced, as in drifting into hyperthyroidism. Also, although some patients comment they like that, they're like, I'm going to ride this wave a little bit, boost my metabolism, maybe drop a little weight. That's not my intention ever. But at the same time, I've had patients articulate to us that. But when they come back with that, we say there's a sound reason. There's a sound explanation for that. Let's see where you are. Let's see how things level out. Maybe you adjust your meds. By all means, talk to your endocrinologist about that or your prescribing physician. But that's just a prime example of why we start right here in the gut. Nutritional status, nutrient deficiencies, drive so much in your body. So let's look at that as a good reason to do so. We're not going to leave you hanging on that with just explanations for why. We're going to tell you some things that we use here. We're going to let you know some general recommendations of supplements plus diet that you can do. Strap into it. Give it a shot. Give it a shot for 21, 28 days, 30 days, and see how you feel. See how you feel. See if you can upgrade on your own to create a more independent you. You don't need me for this, and you don't need to go to that other person for this. Try it. Give it a shot. That's number one for us. We're going to look to improve gut health. I'm going to give you some ideas for that going forward. We're also going to articulate on some of the main reasons why we want to do that so it hopefully resonates with you and someone you care about. And take it from here. Let's work 2021. Let's positive pivot. Continue that positive pivot from the cray-cray 2020, and let's move stronger into 2021. I'm happy to be back here with you again, charged up as ever. Let's go get it.